This is Make a Geek, and I'm Dan. We're making a picture frame, a custom picture frame for a pretty large picture we have. This is a blueprint to the house that I'm in right now. This is actually a scan of the original blueprints. It's pretty nice, and I quite like the idea of hanging it up in the hallway, make a nice feature. But obviously it's a pretty large thing, and I figured, what the hell, let's make a custom frame for it. So this morning we bought some hardwood from a local wood supplier. We weren't too choosy, it's just what they had in the offcuts bucket. This is Meranti, and we just cut a couple of lengths for the crossbar size, and we're going to cut some tenons on the end of these, and then put some mortises into the other parts. So next stage is marking up. Let's do some marking up. I need a pencil, which I had a moment ago. Pencil behind the ear, that's where it always winds up if I'm not thinking about it. I am not a tidy DIYer at all. I know that I see a lot of videos on YouTube with people with immaculate workshops. They must spend a great deal of time tidying. So this stuff is, let's see, how deep are we? This is a set square with inches on the interior. I fucking hate that. Let's never have too many set squares. Just make sure they are in fact square. Definitely got bitten by that before. Which, thinking about it, I think I might do the rebates now. That would probably make sense. Because then if I get any tear out at the end, it doesn't matter, because I'll be just cutting the shoulders off. It's going to get noisy. Wait a second. So, beginning to get the idea. That's the kind of size we're talking about. Just need to have a rebate routed on the internal edge of everything. So let's just decide now what the internal edges of everything is. A different bit in it. So what did we decide? We want a 7mm depth, probably. Let's call it 1 centimeter. So 10mm across the width. Give it a good old tighten. I can tell you, it's a very fast way to ruin a project is not to tighten your route a bit hard enough and to have it slip whilst you're cutting. Very, very annoying. Yes, I've been there. In fact, yeah, we're gonna what are we doing? Wait. That is not top tip. Don't set your fence from the center. Set your fence from the outer edge of the far cutter, which of course is the actual depth you're going to cut from. This is another good reason to think through what you're doing and to continually ask yourself if that is right. Camera tool, there we are. Full face protection probably makes it very difficult to hear me, but this is very helpful. You never know when things are going to go twanging off, and it's useful to protect my beautiful, beautiful face. Right, that's one side done. Rebate. That's perfect. Kind of perfect. Spot the deliberate mistake. Spot the deliberate mistake. Yeah. Yeah, you bastards just watched me do this and didn't think to tell me. This is a vertical section, which means that actually near the bottom I need to take a, this is where the actual horizontal struts will come in with a tenon, so I don't need the rebate that far. In fact, I definitely don't want it all the way down. Well, what am I going to do about that? What am I going to do about that? I could just cut another piece. I've got plenty. It's kind of slightly frustrating, isn't it? This is a silly game, and I don't know if I want to play it anymore. I was not concentrating. I was thinking about other things. And I've gone over the end again. Which kind of pisses me off. It's not as bad. I'm just trying to think about whether I can get away with it, basically, at this point. It's going to annoy me. But if I can get away with it... Screw it. Let's find out. Let's finish routing this guy. Let's not mess around. I'll get on to the tenons and the mortises. When I come to this side, I'll do that one first. And if it looks like a dog's dinner, I have enough to carry on and do another one. So my tenons are going to be, I think, 5mm in from the top and the bottom. Kind of a random thing to do. So I've got my depth. Just want to make sure that this doesn't split out too much. Let's bring you up a little. And really tighten that bad boy in there. Ooh. I felt a crack. I felt a bit of a crack there. Say, such fine work. It's not the best. It's quite difficult to be as... Oh, damn it. You know, there are so many great woodworking YouTube channels that look slick and polished and well lit and well communicated and like they did a great neat editing job. I wonder how many of them make no mistakes versus just edit them out. I am going to get on with cutting some tenons. So let's do that. Let's do that right now. Tenon. Wow, it's getting exciting now, huh? I was going to ask if anyone remembers where I put my pencil. It is behind my ear, where it always is when I can't remember it. Maybe it's just an age thing or an insanity thing. I mean, I am here talking to a room full of no one. So it should probably come as no surprise that I put stuff repeatedly behind my ear and forget it every single time.